Did you guys like that? Did you like that? I didn't. Bring me your tears. I'm here for you. Meow. Well, the only thing I'm happy about is that my first note that I wrote in my little notebook held up for the whole game.
Posterior.
Can I get a solo shot? I'll cover the rest of the notes. This is the first note I wrote about the Cowboy game.
Rump.
Ass. Welcome to the DLLS Cowboys postgame show. I'm Jeff Kavanaugh.
Lombardicus Prime. What up, y'all?
Katya, I'm Jeff Kavanaugh. He's Vach Lombardi. Hit it again.
Lombardicus Prime.
He's
What's up,
Vach
y'all?
Lombardi.
Hey, man, we don't know how we gonna explain this to you. We know how you feel, but it's kind of our job to talk y'all off that ledge. I'm not gonna be able to. Y'all gonna say 4 was hot garbage. I mean, I can kind of push back on that, but we're not gonna push back today. You know, Mike Zimmer, man. Hey, we was hurrah. Boy, nah. It's definitely gonna be some Saints fans in here, brother Jeff, and they're gonna be proud of their team. Hey, y'all boys ain't punt in a year. Shouts out to y'all. But hey, this is your post game show. I can sum it up in 15 minutes.
Nope.
But we got you for 60.
Yep, we got an hour.
We got you for 60.
My favorite thing is that Vach was just like, but there's nothing to say for an hour. We got nothing. And I was like, oh, we can do it. You just got to let people be mad. You got to let people be mad.
That time going to run down on your ass. And
or sad.
And we going to talk. We be like, all right, we got stuff to talk about. 3:15.
We're content creators. This is what we do.
That is true, brother.
This is where we show what we got.
That's true, brother Jeff.
Send us your sadness.
Don't send me nothing because all I'm gonna do is fight you. But
send us our anger, your anger.
Jeff,
send us all of it.
Jeff, if we had one bright spot, because look, I try to take notes,
Aubrey.
y'all. I try to take notes. I try to be like, all right, so
Aubrey,
I don't like what the safeties look like, and I can't properly be mad at the safeties because your linebackers, corners, and your defensive tackles weren't good neither, you know? And then you'd be like, all right, well, our run game wasn't good. And I'm like, oh, our receivers, offensive line, and play caller wasn't all that great neither. So
yeah, that's what we're going to do, though. We're going to go through. Yeah, we're going to do it. Step by step, we're going to do that.
Let's do it.
Step by step, we're going to do that.
Come on, host.
Shout out to the people in the super chat. Toxic is in here. Is it weird I'm totally unbothered by this loss? At least my Aggies won on the road. Nobody cares what your Aggies did.
Yeah.
Terrence, Vach, take that damn Antoine out Zimmer's name. Did he lose his Antoine? You said his name is Mike Antoine Zimmer.
That boy is Michael. He is Michael until we fix what happened out there. Your defense was hot garbage. It was atrocious. It was very reminiscent of Green Bay Packers last year. The only thing different is that your offense scored a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my here's where I want to start on defense.
Yes, sir.
Watch as I make this last 60 minutes. Here's where I want to start on defense.
Let's do this.
Throughout the week, we talked about how you could lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that it reminds me of the Packer game the most is you literally know the biggest threats that the Saints have. You know how they're going to hurt you. And you let them do every single one of them.
12, 22, 41.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Chris Olave. It's Rashid Shaheed. And it's Alvin Kamara. And it's big plays.
Mm-hmm.
And all I said, you know how you lose this game? Is if they score 21 points in 3 plays or 14 points in 2. And here's who's going to do it. Don't let that happen.
Derek Carr was
Derek
Carr was like 9 for 10 and 210 yards to those 3 people.
Before it was over, it was the fourth quarter, and Derek Carr had thrown 13 passes for 200 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of your DBs had got some.
Sure.
Diggs got routed up by Olave, and it was awful.
Yep.
Carson got beat by Olave. Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, both safeties, decided to watch the one guy who you know is going to run deep, run past both of them for a long touchdown. And so, like, everything defensively that should have been, hey, guys, what's their day off? Tuesday? So, hey, guys, it's Monday. This is the Saints.
Yep.
Don't let him run far and fast. That'll be step one. Whoops. Don't let this running back get into space. Whoops. Like, everything that was don't let happened.
Yep.
Every one of them. And the one that's the most embarrassing, I think, is you can't let their fastest guy, who what he does is make big plays, run down the middle of the field between both safeties and be behind them both. I just don't understand. The shine went off Mike Zimmer so fast. Yeah. So fast.
Mike Zimmer can probably fix this with a fantastic day versus the Ravens next week. But Derek Carr was 11 for 16, 242 yards, 2 picks. I mean, 2 touchdowns, and that one pick didn't really matter to me. Alvin was 20 carries for 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. It looked real easy for him. And Raheem Shaheen.
No. Rashid Shaheed.
4 for 96. And the bad part about his one touchdown is that it was the exact same touchdown that he threw versus Carolina, or that Carr threw versus the Panthers. It was right down the middle of the safeties. It was a little cover 2 look, and you either beat cover 2 in front of the safeties or in the middle of the safeties. And Shaheen ran past both our safeties.
Shout out to Jamin in the super chat. We needed this L as a fan base. I could feel that this is our year energy creeping up.
Yeah, we had to sell it down a little bit. Hey, listen, but you need some of that settle down in your body, man. Because I mean, even me, I was a part of it, right? I was using the E word on defense.
What, elite?
Chill out.
Is that the one you were saying?
Stop.
You said elite,
but don't say it.
Did you say good?
It was super good. I was using the E word on defense because we were looking fast at linebacker. We were looking strong on the damn D line, boy. We had 2 corners that was physical, and we didn't bring none of that to the party.
Katya, go ahead.
No, we just didn't bring none of that to the party. And the chat is reflecting that did we even practice this week? There's no way we did.
Katya, there's one I want you to pull up. Go down. Go down. Where was the one that I wanted? No. Yeah, there was one that I wanted and I forgot what it was now. I forgot.
Was it the one that
said won't acknowledge Rashid Shaheed even after embarrassing them? That's what I talked about all effing week. The only dude, do not let him run by you. And they let him run by. No, somebody said something about, like, this is what you can afford because you have Dak and CeeDee now. Don't let Jerry and Stephen Jones lie to you. They could have signed whatever defensive tackle they wanted in free agency.
Sure.
Whatever running back they wanted in free agency. They could have done it. And then after paying those dudes, they have more money. They can sign whoever they want. They chose this. And we'll go through it as we get through the whole post game. Like, we or they or whoever needed this. Because we or they or whoever needed to know every offseason, you're right. We're right. We can tell them what the problems are going to be, and they pretend they're not going to be. No juice in the running back room. Check. D-tackle. You don't have NFL starting D-tackles. Check.
Wide receivers.
You don't have a third wide receiver. Check. You have 1 tight end. Check. It was all true. And they kicked ass in week 1, and it's like, okay, but things are good. We got this. Sure. No. But sometimes, it's our year energy showed up. But no, we know, and you know. When they don't do stuff that they should have done, it shows up. Remember receiver by committee year?
Yeah, that was nonsense.
We knew, and they pretended it would work. Jerry looked you and I and him dead in the eye and said, we're going to have to do more with less this year with the quarterback. And he meant it.
You sound hurt.
But do you know why he said it? Because I don't. Because it's a lie. They could spend $25 million on players tomorrow. And do you know what spending $25 million on a player could be when you sign him? You could sign an $80 million player tomorrow because when you sign them, those numbers go up as you go. You get to spread stuff out and lower the salary early on in the contract. The idea that they have to be this way because of the quarterback and the receiver is a lie. Don't let Jerry and Steven say that to you. KG's in the super chat.
Jeff, you said you wouldn't get angry about this stuff, and you seem like you're
No,
pretty
I'm okay
upset.
with being angry.
You seem like you're pretty upset at the goings on.
We all get to be angry.
Okay.
It's allowed.
Okay.
New Year, same Cowboys. Man, I don't get why this keeps happening. Jeff watches the players, owners, and coaches love y'all. Yes, it's also 1 week. Last week they were going to the Super Bowl. Sure. This week they suck.
Yeah.
If they beat the Ravens next week, they're going back to the Super Bowl.
Yep. Yep.
Look at the NFL this week. Did the Niners lose? The Niners are going to lose to the Vikings?
The Niners lost to the Vikings, yes.
The Niners lost to the Vikings.
Yes, sir.
And what happened? Did the Patriots end up?
The Browns that we just beat the hell out of, they're beating the Jaguars right now.
The Jaguars are going to lose maybe to the Browns.
Yeah.
The NFL's weird.
The Lions lost to the Bucks and them.
The Bucks beat the Lions.
Yeah.
The NFL's weird. The only team...
The Ravens are tied with the Raiders.
The Ravens are tied with the Raiders. The NFL is weird. Jesus. But yes, the Saints came into the Cowboys' house and spanked that ass.
Sure did.
And it's a week-to-week league, and weird stuff happens, and it can happen. And maybe the Saints are awesome now that they are running an offense that is a 2024 offense, and a lot of teams still don't do that. Maybe. But we're going to keep complaining, and y'all keep complaining. Super chat from Toxic's back. Jeff, normally the voice of reason, has walked off the ledge. Vach, help the man.
No, I don't know.
Vach is calm.
I don't have nothing to say. No. I'm really torn up inside. I'm really torn up inside because I'm one of those, hey, it's gonna be all right kind of people, right? And I am here to fight a little bit because there's a little bit of fighting I want to do. I'm seeing a bunch of Prescott criticism.
Is it about the quarterback?
It's about
Can
Dak.
you do me a huge favor? Can you hold it for like 120 seconds?
Hell yeah. Who we got?
Because we want to talk. Well, I just want to talk about the offense next.
Oh, what's it going?
I want to talk about the Cowboys' offense next. We already complained about some stuff.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the offense. We're going to do that in about 2 minutes, right after I tell you some stuff. Vach, get out of here. Let me talk to you about my friends at Sleeper. Boy, if you would have picked the under on all Cowboys stuff, you'd have been doing good today on Sleeper. Sleeper's an app. You might know that. It used to be my fantasy football app, but now it's also where I make a bunch of picks. So what you do is you pick players in whatever sport you like, and you say, will they get more or less than their projected stats of the week? And the more of those that you pick, you can get up to 100 times your money. If you go up to like 9 or 10 picks and you pick, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. You just pick more or less. That's all you got to do for all those different folks. So if you think you got what it takes, download that Sleeper app. Use the code DLLS boys, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions, of course, do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. It's operational in over 25 states. But yeah, download that Sleeper app. And if you think that this is reflective of who the Cowboys are, just go to next week and pick less on every Cowboy stat you can find, and you'll be in good shape. Also, want to shout out to our friends at Empire Today. We have 2 studios up here. This one in here, I think we still have the same carpet that it had. We might have Empire Today swing through here and put down some new stuff. They got carpet, they got laminate, they got wood, but they're the best in the business. And they put in our fancy one out there with the nice floors. Empire Today did those floors. They're absolutely the best. $350 off for you if you go to empiretoday.com/DLLS. Their virtual floor designer, super cool. It's a great way to see how a new floor would look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and you instantly see how new floors look in your room. So, if you go to a big box store, that can be tough. You might talk to somebody who was a plumber yesterday. They might have 17,000 different options. Empire Today, they weed that out for you. And they only carry good stuff, but they carry good stuff that's going to be affordable to you. Empire Today, they're our homies. Go to empiretoday.com/DLLS. You get $350 off. Empire Today's cool. We like them. Now, if you want to fight with anybody, if you want to fight with anybody, go.
Okay, so I don't want to go out of order here. You know what I mean?
What you want to do?
I think we have to start this thing off with the
Oh, we do. We do. You're right. We don't want to screw up the order.
With the play of the week.
Yeah, we
play of the day. Yeah.
Which is what do you I don't know what you can do with that.
So listen,
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Empire Today Impact Player of the Game.
So Jay, we gotta talk about this, okay?
Is kicker.
No. Is this the player of the game or the Cowboys player of the game?
Is the Impact Player of the Game
Oh, it was Alvin Kamara then.
It was Alvin Kamara, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave,
22,
Derek
41,
Carr,
12,
the Saints offensive line, the Saints defense, and the Saints coaching staff. Congrats on winning today's Empire Today Impact Player of the Game. Everyone on the Saints.
Ain't none of us part of that mix. But let's do defense first, because I think that was your most glaring issue, and later we could fuss with the people about Dak Prescott and how he did or whatnot.
Okay.
But man, I think everybody's kind of on the same page with this. If you go around social media, as you look in the chat box, it's looking very much so. Damn, Green Bay did that exact game plan, and. Somebody asked earlier, who do we kind of blame this on? And I do think there's a lot of weird stuff that'll happen to you in the league, and week 1 and week 2 can be different. But
I blame 2 people.
Okay, who?
Mike Zimmer and Jerry Jones.
Okay, so this is my whole thing, right? How do you blame Jerry Jones?
I can
blame Zimmer, but how do you
I blame Jerry Jones because I knew they needed defensive tackle help, and they decided that they didn't.
Okay, so
if somebody can run on you for 6 yards a pop at will, you're done already.
So this is actually fantastic, Jeff. Is this a scheme issue, or is this a we don't have enough dudes?
Oh, I think it's the dudes.
Okay,
now don't get me wrong. That's not an excuse for giving up 6 yards a carry, and it's not, or maybe it is, and it's not an excuse for your players letting them beat you with big plays in the exact way that you knew they would beat you. That part is not okay. But the fact that the Saints were able to line up and run it down your throat at will, that's dudes. The fact that every time they needed or wanted a big run, they ran the same toss play with the same pin and pull concept that you saw in film last week when they needed a run.
Sure.
That's a Zimmer or inability to get it to your players. Yeah. I promise you, if they run the ball on 3rd and 3, I know the play. It's either right or left.
Yeah.
And the big that is flexed off the line is blocking your end. The tackle is pulling and leading the running back around, and it was butt naked for them all day. That's scheme.
Which is why I'm weird on the idea that it's the dudes, because if you watch the game last year versus Green Bay, it looked the exact same, and they had a couple more dudes on that defense than we have, but it looked the exact same. So my whole thing is, we could look and look. You ain't wrong. One play I looked at Linval Joseph flopping around all over the place,
getting pushed back 10 yards,
getting grass stains all in his pants, and Jordan Phillips not doing very much.
They were on the couch 2 weeks ago because no one wanted them. And the Cowboys pretended that was going to work.
Chauncey Golston been in camp. He got moved all over the place.
Well, he can't play D-tackle.
And look, there's going to also be some people that are saying, well, where was 11 and where it was 90. I think if the whole operation is tore up and ridiculous looking, then I don't think you can even look for 90 and 11 to do anything positive because everything was trash.
Well, in Soto, Zimmer had us at a basic 4-3 all game. That's because when you're trying to stop the run, that's your best crack at it.
That's what you got to do.
Right? So, why didn't Micah Parsons get going? I'm always the Dak homer because, when we get to Dak, I'll tell you, Dak had a good game. Sorry. You may not like it, but he averaged 7.5 yards per attempt. The first pick that he threw was literally a perfect man coverage slant route that a dude fell down. They scored on their first 5 drives. You should be up by 6 or 10 points at that point. They were down by 20.
Sure.
Because the defense let up a touchdown on every drive. Quarterback did his job today. Parsons, much like how I'll say not Dak's fault, it's not Parsons' fault.
Per se.
They were never in the sort of football game, and maybe this is the damning thing to Parsons and the ability to pay him. If you're down by 14, Micah Parsons ain't an impact player. If they don't have to drop back to pass, Micah Parsons is not going to make an impact on the game. He's not a good run player when he's lined up on the defensive line. And that's what he had to do today because they were kicking your ass.
Do you think that was a situation where, okay, maybe it fits to put Micah at linebacker here? Because if Micah is your left end and they run to the other side, then there's not much that Micah can do there. But if Micah was at Micah, and he can kind of run on both sides, and he may not be able to read it the best, but at least he's faster than everybody else out there.
Maybe. I mean, you're not going to have him calling the defense. No. If you wanted to play him for Overshown at linebacker and you think that he would do the job better, then you could. Because, I think that absolutely. If you are getting your butt kicked, they're running it down your throat, and they're throwing bombs at will, like they can do whatever they want.
Sure.
And they're not having to drop back to pass. Micah Parsons as a pass rusher doesn't matter.
Sure.
Because you're not rushing the passer because they're not dropping back to pass.
Yeah. It's just a weird setup, and maybe that's where we go back to, okay, Mike Zimmer, what were you thinking? But at the end of the day, somebody was like, hey, why are we running a 4-3? Last year we was running dime in them looks, you know what I mean? So I would much rather run 4-3 than dime. But your D-line got pushed all over the place. I would have to watch the film. Somebody said, Vaj, why was Overshown not in there? And I kind of saw that on social media, but I wouldn't. When I'm pissed off and I'm mad and the Cowboys lose like that, it's like a blur. And it's just like, it's just 11 bodies out there running around the circle, not tackling anybody. Yeah. So I couldn't properly pay attention to why he wasn't out there. But when he did get in there, I guess he did have one big play. But I'm assuming that we're gonna hear some more about this. Cool, here we go. Can we get an idea of why they didn't use Overshown early? Aren't we gonna tap in with?
So I guess we had more Damone Clark than we did Overshown early. They were doing weird, and on offense, I don't know if you guys noticed. I think it was the first 2 drives. I don't think Zeke touched the field. Like they flipped around who was getting to play. And in the running back room, I think that probably makes more sense.
Sure.
I think Overshown made too big of an impact last week to not be playing a bunch. So when we see snap counts and stuff like that, I'll be honest, in real time, I didn't notice which one was out there unless they made the play.
I knew Zeke wasn't out there.
Zeke wasn't.
Because I was laughing, making fun of people. But Deuce had some carries. Deuce
had some carries early, too.
Well, we'll talk about when
let's do that because that's another thing where that's on them. That's a Jerry Jones thing.
Yeah.
They decided that this running back room was good enough, and I take that back. Normally, I give all of us credit. I would say we knew and you knew.
Yeah.
But in this case, for a lot of you, you didn't know because you pretended Zeke was the answer, and that's your fault. But we knew, and most of you knew, that they weren't going to be good enough at running back. Let's bang through some of these super chats right quick.
Let's do it.
Let's see, fellas, is this even fixable? Can we go trade for another wide receiver? Mike McCarthy drives me nuts with play calling. I'm just going to hold on to that. Can we trade for another wide receiver? Because that's something we can do in the next segment.
And we can definitely talk about Mike McCarthy calling the offense too.
Missing on first round sets your franchise back. Mozzie, kind of. Lots of people miss on first rounders.
This wasn't Mozzie though, man. This was.
I mean,
this was everybody. He was part of it.
He was part of it.
But he is 1/11 of this issue here. But go ahead.
They run at Micah over and over, just like Green Bay did, and you can do that if your team is good. Sure. If you have a good run defense, you can do it. Micah's not an awful run player.
No.
He's just not a good run player. He's a good run player if he can get free and chase something down or something gets by him and he runs it down, whatever.
Sure.
Let's see here. Why is Damone Clark getting snaps? Damone Clark deserves to play. If you were at training camp and you watched him every day, Damone Clark deserves to play. I don't think I could play him over Overshown, but he deserves to be playing snaps. Let's see. And KC, love Mike Z, but the look on Zim's face scared me. I didn't see his face.
His name's Michael.
He's Michael this week.
To further notes. And shouts out to my guy, Zach Golston. He said, yeah, man, we are not allowed to call him Michael Antoine Zimmer anymore.
No.
He's just Mike until he earns it back.
Yeah. He's just going to, So which one does he want to be? He wants to be Mike or Michael?
Man, he just Zim, dog.
So he lost Mike privileges?
He is Coach Zimmer.
He lost Antoine privilege?
He ain't got a name. He is fella until he gets this figured out. Like this was ridiculous looking. And I know there's some, and trust me, we're going to talk about offense and Dak at some point, but this was just like the Green Bay situation, right?
Yeah.
As an offense, I can't even run my offense because y'all didn't get a stop till the end of the third quarter. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Dak had his picks, but that's because Dak is forcing. And whether that be the 49ers game last year or just any one of these other games to where, okay, Dak is throwing 2 or 3 picks at the end. Well, because you're changing your offense now. Okay, we're not running or setting a pass off the run. It's like, all right, we running and we're throwing the ball and we're looking for CeeDee Lamb. And that's where a lot of your picks come from. And if you just narrow down your offensive scheme or whatever, then it's going to be easy to throw a lot of picks. But besides that,
especially when they can drop 7 to cover 3 or 4 and still beat Steele and or Guyton and get after your quarterback.
So let's just say that first pick to that Jalen Brooks fell down and went, my leg. Yeah. Let's just say that pick didn't exist. Dak Prescott, let's just say he's 27 for 39, 293 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. That ain't the blame for damn 44-19. It's not.
No.
Now
And even the one pick is just, I think, a direct product of the drive before on 4th and 4.
Sure.
He realized the guy he had to throw to was Brevin Spanford.
Tough.
And so he went, okay, we're getting our asses kicked. This thing is over if we don't score now. F it, 88. I'm just going to throw it to him. I don't even care. And I get it. So, like, that pick, that's on Dak. That's a pick. Honey Badger came underneath it. He knew who to double cover. Like, yeah, that's a pick. And that's what happens when you're getting your ass kicked and you have to pass all day. That's what happens. You throw a pick.
To be fair, they can be better in the red zone, Jeff. To be fair.
Yeah.
But 27 for 39, 293 and a touchdown is fine enough.
No. And Daniel's in the super chat. This has nothing to do with the O. Zimmer looked like a ghost.
Yeah.
And Jeff Heath is the GOAT, which is a great username. We could probably use Jeff Heath right now.
Right.
Did Brooks lose his job today? 11 points on him alone.
Nah, because Tolbert didn't really.
Yeah, I mean, Tolbert stood still and waited for a ball to get to him and then dropped it because the dude hit him right after it touched him when he could have come and got the ball or held onto the ball or done anything differently. Let's talk about that. Let's do it. We'll do it next. There's multiple people that would they lose their jobs today if there was someone to take it? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's no one there to take it. So that's coming up next. But first, let's talk about our friends over at Indeed. We love Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Indeed is the best. That's who you got to go. And you go Indeed.com/AllCity. And if you're a listener of the show, you'll get a $75 sponsored job credit. And that gets your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com. So it's Indeed.com/AllCity to get that. They leverage over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day. Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences. So the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And again, use the code ALLCITY. It's Indeed.com/AllCity. And you'll be supporting our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. And you get a $75 sponsored job credit. Indeed.com/AllCity. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire. You need Indeed. And I actually love talking to people about Rugged Road because you know what I like? I like coolers. Is that a weird sentence?
Hell no, I like coolers.
I like coolers. And I've had, like a lot of times I'll have the little crappy styrofoam ones and I break the lid or the little thing breaks or.
You need a vacuum sealing, keep my ice cold for 4 days.
Yeah.
Y'all want something to drink?
Yeah.
Cooler.
Yeah. RuggedRoadOutdoors.com, code DLLS for 10% off. So Rugged Road, my favorite thing, like it's lightweight while being sort of the heavy duty outdoorsy cooler. My favorite thing is it floats. I get in the pool.
Well,
I can take it down to the river,
or if
and
you're
I
on a
can float
boat,
the river, or on a boat. If you're on a boat, it's like its own PFD, personal flotation device. That's what it's got. So versatility, durability, dependability, lightweight design, floatability, all those different things. Gear up for your next adventure with Rugged Road coolers, reliable, durable, built to be used. Rugged Road, your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to RuggedRoadOutdoors.com. Use code DLLS for $10 off. All right. Who are we bitching about? Oh,
everybody.
Super chat.
All of them.
Let's go get the Lions DC for our head coach and find an offensive coordinator that runs Shanahan's scheme.
So, Jeff, can we
and then
talk
he
about
said,
that?
I'm kidding. Calm down. You don't have to be kidding. If you don't have somebody from Shanahan's coaching tree running your offense, you're wrong.
So this is where I can directly blame something on Jerry Jones because I typically don't. I come from
Homer.
No. I just come
Why
from.
you love Jerry so much?
I'll tell you why.
Oh.
I come from played football and then I come from coach football. You know what I'm saying? So if you played football, you take a lot of responsibility. Hey, man, I got to go out there and play. If you coach football, coaches take a lot of responsibility. Hey, man, we've got to play better. I got to coach better. Me and my guy Will still talk about this all the time. Like, hey, dog, what's stopping us from finding like the Dolphins' second tight ends coach?
Oh, yeah, Jerry. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And correct. We look for a lot of these older coaches.
Yep.
Oh, we like the established coach. We love coaches with experience when in real life, that's not where the league is going.
Right.
The league is going to, hey, dog, I know you've never called plays before, but you've watched this dude call plays for 3 or 4 years. All right. Lions running back coach under this coach. All right. Oh, you were under Shanahan. You was the assistant slot receivers coach. Come on in and interview for us.
Yeah.
The Cowboys wouldn't dare do that because we love experience and we love in homegrown talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I can really look at Jerry Jones and be like, bro, you have got to do different here. Because while the rest of the league is modernizing, everybody in that tree gives you fits. Also, not just you fits, everybody that comes from that tree automatically are postseason teams.
Yeah.
Houston overnight, Detroit overnight, the damn Saints overnight.
Yep.
You turn into a real playoff contending team when you hire these brand new characters. You've never heard of them. All they've ever been is a miscellaneous assistant coach, but they in that damn tree, and something rubs off on those guys. But the Cowboys would rather go back to this offensive philosophy that existed in the 90s. Football evolves, Jeff. So if it's up to me, Jerry, and look, I'm saying OC, but I'm saying head coach also, right? Ben Johnson or whatever,
yep.
right? Man, Jerry Jones, boy, it'll be nice if that was our new head coach and he brings that offense with him. Mm-hmm. But it's not going to happen.
Nope.
It is not going to happen. If you're a team like the Colts, Shane Steichen,
mm-hmm.
cool. Hey, bro, I saw what you did. I know you ain't got head coach experience, and I know I never heard of you, but I'm going to give you this money because I know what cloth you come from.
Yeah.
Now the Colts damn near make the playoffs with Gardner Minshew, and now they're building with their second overall pick, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to make changes like that, and you just can't constantly lean on the idea, oh, well, this coach got experience and he's been to a Super Bowl before. I'm not trying to interview Rex Ryan. I'm not trying to hear from Sean Payton, who's overrated as hell. And I'm not, and dog, Mike McCarthy, I understand it's one game, but when you look at the easy stuff that these other coaches do for these other quarterbacks, Derek Carr shouldn't look like that. He shouldn't look like that. That ain't who Derek Carr. And there's some Saints fans here, sorry. That ain't. I've been watching Derek Carr for a little bit, man. That ain't Derek Carr for real, dog. That ain't him. That is offensive scheming and play calling. And if you can only imagine what Dak Prescott could do with that.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle Shanahan would love
the
49ers win every Super Bowl if they have Dak.
Oh my goodness, but
yeah. But yeah. No, I think it's a great point. I think that is the Jerry way is the guys I know and the guys that I don't think he knows how to say to a fan base, like, I hired this guy because, trust me, this is where the league is going, and this is, like, he's going to give us a schematic advantage. It's way easier to say, hey, why did you bring in this head coach? Because he won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like, that is a Jerry thing.
Sure.
Some super chats. That was sorry. No pride. Every room got whooped. True. Hallelujah. Man, the Vikings beat the 49ers. The Browns beat the Jags. The Bucs beat the Lions. And the Raiders beat the Ravens. I'm good. Super good. We lost to a better team.
That's a lie. You're not. Hey, look, hallelujah. I love you.
Good. You're not super good.
And look, hallelujah, about to tap in all these other post-game shows
You're
I
not
do.
super
That's
good.
false. You're not super good.
Dak wasn't solely to blame, but that was not good enough from him. He missed big throws. It might not have mattered because of the D, but damn. Which ones?
I don't think you can expect any quarterback to be perfect for you.
Right. And which big throws?
I mean,
like, that's the only thing. My Dak stuff is just, I feel like you're just conditioned to say it.
He missed
like,
a routine quarterback miss. Dak didn't do anything egregious today.
He tried to force one to CeeDee.
Yeah.
And on a bomb to CeeDee, he missed that throw, thinking he was going to be going more up than over, and CeeDee was thinking more over. But it's weird. The Dak people are weird. Mm-hmm. Dak played the way a franchise quarterback plays, and despite 5 drives into the game on offense, the amount of points you had scored on those 5 drives, you want to be better in the red zone, and you want to score more touchdowns. Yeah. But those 5 drives, they would have led the league in points per drive with the way the offense played through 5 drives. Led the league, and they were down by 14, 17, whatever.
Sure.
That ain't the quarterback. It's just not. You can make it him every time if you want. It's just weird.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ms. Cat. Primetime says, Vash, do we need a wide receiver first round next year? This is the problem. You don't need a first round receiver. You don't even need an elite receiver. You just need somebody that's more than...
You need a starter.
All right, this dude got to step up.
You need a starter.
This homegrown dude got to step up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and listen, Jalen Tolbert, it's only one game on... It's been 2 games. It's been a couple years for Jalen Tolbert, right? And I ain't really just here to just flat out poo-poo on Jalen Tolbert, but like I'm just not seeing him. For example, I always go back to the Bengals and how they run things, right? Jamar Chase is your superstar. Mike, whatever, not
T.
Mike.
Higgins?
T. Higgins just kind of does everything else. And Tyler
was
Boyd,
the slot. He gone, but was.
That example is what I'm saying.
Right.
Tyler Boyd just kind of catches the stuff that's left over.
There's
right?
a plan there.
There's a plan there. We got a first receiver. Brandon Cooks may get 4 targets, and everybody else just get in where you fit in. That is not the way. That is not the way. Even the Eagles, right? For example, I mean, A.J. Brown's hurt today, but even the Eagles or whatever, right? A.J. Brown gets his, Devontae get his, Dallas Goedert get his. Everybody else just find your way.
No, but you know what? You know what I like about them?
What's that?
So like even the Eagles this offseason.
Go get Saquon.
What did they do for their third wide receiver? Was it Dotson?
They traded for Dotson. Yeah.
So like the Eagles, here's the difference between Cowboys and Eagles. Why the Cowboys are as good or better than them is because their quarterback's better.
Sure.
Right? That's why the Cowboys are as good or better than the Eagles, because you have the better quarterback. Congratulations.
True.
They are the team that in the offseason, when they say we're not good enough somewhere, they fix it. They looked at third wide receiver and they said, we're not just going to trust that one of the dudes here blindly we believe.
Yeah.
We're going to trade for a guy.
Sure.
When they're in a draft, they pick the best player. And it's been to the point, what was it, a couple of years ago, where they're like, oh, the best player's a running back. I guess we'll pick one and we'll just trade our starter.
Sure.
Like they do what you're supposed to do to build the best team you can. Not worry about, well, we got to make sure that we're being financially responsible into these future years, and we don't want to use free agency because when we use free agency, it hasn't worked out for us because we've been shopping at the bottom of the barrel. But we're going to use the fact that we've been shopping at the bottom of the barrel and getting bad results as the reason we shouldn't use free agency. No, you shouldn't use it the way you use it. Yeah. Got some super chats. Yeah, we got some super chats. Why did it take so long for them to play Overshown and instead give Clark all the tick? Are
we going to hear from Clarence?
I hope we'll hear. Maybe, McCarthy and all of them will talk after the game as soon as Clarence or Joe is available. Somebody will call in, and hopefully we'll get that answer. Victoria's Secret.
They're not going to ask.
We got punched in the grill in our second game, not the playoffs. Regroup, recover. Remember this BS game. Yeah,
I do agree with that, though, Jeff.
No, I do too.
It's only game 2. We'll be fine.
The problem is, are your players good enough to fix that?
And the Ravens next week.
And like if you said you're going to play the Saints again next week, I'd be like, yeah, any given Sunday.
Yeah.
But what in the world do you think you would do differently? They're still going to run it down your throat, run play action, and throw bombs.
Fair point.
You better do something about it.
I don't want to see no more Shanahan people no more.
Let's get a head coach and OC off the Shanahan tree. Yeah, I apologize for seeing the stats when we hired Zimmer that said he was good against the Shanahan tree because I just watched something that was awful.
He normally is, Jim.
Give us D-line, please. Yep, we need D-line help. Did we get Cooks for no reason? No deep routes? He's not what he was.
We couldn't.
He's not what he was.
You need a receiver, yeah.
To be sitting here talking about Dak in a game where your defense gave up 40 points at the crib is wild to me. Yeah, but I think that's just like people just, I don't know. It's just the people who have decided he's not good, it's not going to change. They're not going to move. It's going to be his fault no matter what. And it's weirdo behavior, but you're entitled to it. You're a sportsman.
Jeff, let me ask you a question. Do you think Brandon Cooks would be a good number 3 receiver here?
Good enough.
Like he would, like he's kind of
enough.
here and there as a number 2 guy, but as a number 3, if he was Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys should be looking for a team that sucks.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Amari Cooper. Like, I think he want to find a team. Can we get Amari Cooper? I want to find a team that sucks and be like, listen, come on. That wide receiver you don't need. You're not going to use. Here's your 4th or 5th round pick. Let me get that wide receiver. And now we could be cooking. Because this team is not far away.
No.
You're just incompetent at defensive tackle, probably incompetent at third wide receiver. You have no tight end depth, and your running backs have no burst in that room whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But, like, those are things that the bad part is that we knew. Yeah. We all knew. Yeah. And we said it.
I'm just a dude with a microphone.
But then they kicked ass in week 1, and it was like, all right, we knew.
Brandon Aubrey's special, though, Jeff.
Brandon Aubrey's so good.
Brandon Aubrey's special.
He's the Empire player of the game.
You're damn right.
Him and all the Saints. All right.
Jeff, what do you think about our running back rotation? It looked like they had purposely. I know, right? It's like they're trying to find answers. It's 37. I'm trying to get the zeros.
I think that's it. I think they are desperately they know, despite the people who wanted to yell at Vach because Vach is such a hater about Zeke. They knew that what Zeke did last week was not impressive at all. So they're like, all right, let's see a different guy first, and we'll go a different order. And by the end of the day, you had Zeke at 2.7 a carry, Deuce at 2.8, and Rico at 4.3. Yeah. And I think that's more likely what your team is like. Rico's the best one. I would like to see Deuce keep getting cracks just to be sure before I go, okay, bye.
Yeah.
But I know what Zeke is. And I got news for you. The people who are going to want Dalvin Cook, I know what he is.
Mm-hmm.
They need somebody else.
Yeah.
Vach told you earlier, the teams who have running backs who blow up, they're not the dudes that are over the hill by 2 years. They're the dudes that are like, oh, holy crap, that undrafted free agent, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that 23-year-old. That's who you give the ball to and see what happens. Yeah. It's not the old people.
Yeah.
They need to find a running back.
Alvin is the only old running back that I've seen be great, like around this age of him.
And his stats have sucked for 4 years. But we saw today, healthy Kamara still got some.
You got to do off it. What's up?
What happened?
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll talk to Clarence and or Joe. We'll do that next. We'll keep getting through your super chats and mess with you guys. We're here for. Oh, I'm sorry, I hadn't told you the whole show. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah.
I know you're not happy with the game result, but you don't have to be. You can be nice to us. We're having a good time.
We don't have to get water in the chat because that's celebratory. But can we get a few flames if y'all like what me and Jeff are doing right now, just to make us feel a little better about this? Before you read those supers, Jeff, Rico has 7 carries for 30 yards. That's about as good as Zeke was last week.
Yeah, well, it's better. Yeah.
Zeke has six carries for 16 yards.
I don't want to have to do this every week, but we might just have to tell people
week. We're doing this every week.
You might have to know.
We're doing this every week, Jeff.
They need to know.
And Deuce Vaughn was 4 for 11. I feel like he had a couple more yards than that, but he was 4 for 11.
Oh, you think they're cheating, Deuce?
They cheating all of us. And look, just to be fair, just in case it's somebody first time tuning in and they're not clear about where I'm at with running back, I'm not preferring anybody over it. If we
I'll take Rico over everybody else, and I would prefer that they get somebody even better than that tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. If we get a better guy than all these guys can go. It's just that I'm just aware of the running back situation. Supers. Where are supers?
Oh, yeah. Let's knock out the supers. I'm going to tell you about being a diehard, and then we'll get to all our people. Let's see here. Played poker with Skywalker, and y'all preaching. Skywalker's a wonderful man.
Shouts out to you, big dog.
Coaching, absolutely. But today we saw the limits of y'all's team against schematically great teams. Zimmer will keep y'all out of the playoffs. Okay, we got a Saints man in the house.
Okay, he would have said.
Okay. Congratulations on your day. Time to pick a head coach and OC off the Shanahan tree.
That's the key.
Guys, come on. Y'all saying this is only game 2, but we have seen this movie before. Once again, when the Cowboys play a quality opponent, they fold miserably. You know what I don't like? Is anybody who takes 30 seconds of the show and pretends that's what the show was. You're saying it's just 1 week. We bitched and destroyed them for a half hour.
Yeah.
And then acknowledged for 10 seconds that what if they play great next week? And it's that's what you said today is that this team is fine. It's that is not what we said.
It was 3:30 when we said it.
We started at 2:57, and at 3:30 we said there's always next week. Zim is a good DC, but I swear he looked like the ghost of 2013 Monty Kiffin. Just looked shook and lost. Play Mike at linebacker, have a true 4-man front. Vach, mad love, bro. Appreciate you for real.
It's my man's hallelujah.
All right, we'll talk to one of our beat writers, I think, coming up next. We'll keep doing your super chats and your chats. If you have something amazing to say, please
and
hit
if y'all
the like
have
and subscribe.
any questions for Clarence or Joe, y'all can just put them in there and we'll ask.
Or for Vach.
Or for Vach.
Any questions for Vach. But I do want to take just a minute and tell you guys, we want you to sign up to be a diehard, ALLDLLS.com, because it's full service. Right out there right now, they may be done with the Rangers pregame now, but we do a Ranger show, Cowboy show, Maverick show, Stars show every day. And we got people who cover those teams and write for ALLDLLS.com. Some of that is premium content that if you sign up to be a diehard, bam, you got access to that. It's $80 a year. You spend more than that on so many things. I spend more than that on so many things that I'm ashamed of. So yeah, you can get access to the premium written content, get a free t-shirt, discounts on merch, discounts on events, access to our members-only Discord, a members card. So sign up to be a diehard. Show some support. And, get you some sweet merch and hang out with us in the Discord. Do all of the things that you can do by being a diehard. So, Katya, you just tell us if Clarence or Joe swings through. And until then, I like Chris. Go Cowboys, Vach Lombardi, and Jeff Kavanaugh.
Schoonmaker did not drop his 6 targets that he had
for like 4 yards apiece, but okay.
Yeah.
I'd probably not a bad day. I'd have to go watch him block and stuff, but maybe not a terrible day at the office for Schoon. Maybe. Jeff, maybe.
You remember last year?
I'm trying to find something.
You remember last year, our offense was like goofy for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, until CeeDee threw fits and everybody was like, God, you are such a child. And then they were like, hey, can we get the ball to the child so he'll shut up? And then the offense was like, what's up?
That child going great.
Yeah.
You think we just need to have another set
Somebody
of
got to cry?
Yeah. You think we just need to...
I think more likely we need our rookie left tackle to get some more games under his belt, our right tackle to play better football, running backs who are a threat to actually do something with it, and some more capable wide receivers. And then I think we could really get this thing cooking, Bob.
You know, it's crazy. You named all pieces on the offense, right?
Yeah, all of it.
But our defense were the ones
and the defense was the worst part.
That sold us out there.
You're right. No, because even with that. But here's my thing about the offense.
Yes, sir.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, you can criticize Dak, and that's cool because he's the quarterback, and the results of a game, you're going to criticize the quarterback. That's fine. But it goes back to what you were saying about the coaching. Like, is Derek Carr as good as he showed you today? Hell no.
Correct.
Like, that's not him. But it feels like the Cowboys offense has to earn every first down.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing where it's like, hell yeah, that dude was
But that was
wide
easy
open.
as hell, boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, that dude was 8 yards open again. That's sweet. Like, the Cowboys, it's like you got to thread the needle between two dudes, and then CeeDee's got to break tackles, and that's your one big play.
Yeah.
And to get first downs, it's like, oh, he was just able to squeeze it in there at the sticks. And, like, it felt so hard. And they scored on their first 5 drives. 4 more field goals. You'd rather have touchdowns, whatever. They scored on their first 5 drives.
Yeah.
And it looked like every bit of it was so hard. Nothing about it was, oh, yeah, man, they blocked the hell out of that. That was easy to take off through there. Or, boy, that route came wide open. He sure did scheme that one up. It was everything had to be on the money to just be able to scratch out some points.
The Saints didn't have to get any tough yards today. You know what I'm saying?
No. Kamara did. I mean, he earned a lot of it. He break tackles.
He got some dirty yards. You know what I'm saying?
People.
But he had to fight for his life a whole bunch.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Shaheed didn't have to fight for his life a whole bunch.
No.
And, you know, I already had reservations about a lot of our older players. You know, Donovan Wilson being one of them in his new scheme.
I'm ready to see either Bell or Wanye.
I'm looking for one of those guys, man. But it's just like, man, I just want my offense to have what these other teams' offenses have.
Yeah.
Like, when we watch the Miami Dolphins or whatever, we're watching the 49ers, like, man, they just got plays where, like, damn, don't nobody even touch Jordan Mason for like 12 yards. And then he goes to do yak things. Damn, I know Debo Samuel's not the fastest guy in the world, but how the hell he get that wide open? We made a joke. We was just watching the game.
Debo's not even a good route runner, and they get him open.
Taysom Hill is not the greatest athlete in the world, but he gets to play all over the field.
I'm disappointed. Listen, Jordan Lewis praised the hell out of you last week.
Oh, man.
3rd and 9.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get one stop to see if maybe if we scored a touchdown, if you could get one more stop, and maybe it could get interesting.
Sure.
And their backup quarterback, fullback, runs a slant, and you got to grab the hell out of him. We got to be able to cover Taysom Hill without a penalty on 3rd and 9.
Got to be able to cover Taysom Hill.
We got to be able to cover Taysom Hill without a penalty on 3rd and 9.
Got to be able to cover Taysom Hill. And you know, it's just like damn, like, he's one of y'all best players. Like, he's and look, I'm not saying that to be funny because we got Zeke starting, but like Taysom hit, and Taysom Hill's out here routing up your nickel corner that you have a lot of faith in. It sucks, Jeff. This is a weird game that I'm gonna have to watch film on at some point, and I'm gonna have to break it down. I'm gonna go, dog.
You don't want to do that.
I mean, I get a lot of views for people watching.
No,
the film,
you're right.
Jeff.
No,
so
you're
I'm
right.
so I'm gonna break down the film.
That's legal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got like a disclaimer you put in the description or something? You need to tell me about it. I didn't know about that.
Fair use.
Yeah, okay.
Fair use and all that. And hey, y'all come watch the film, click the button, hey, get out.
Yeah. Vach Lombardi on YouTube.
Yeah,
a lot of you are probably watching on that channel right now, but if you don't know,
they know it's going to be a long week of fussing and complaining about some nonsense. And look, Brian Bros is another guy that's gonna come up here and fuss at all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When we were, blowing teams out and all that, hey, we should probably be working on stuff because next week we got a team that's doing XYZ. And that's what happened to us. They XYZ'd us to death, and it was easy for them. We had to fight for everything that we had.
Somebody said I told you about Lewis. Bland is coming for your spot. We could just all I'm gonna say about that is be careful. We brought up a play from Jordan Lewis.
Yeah.
Boy, Kalen Carson had a day. Trayvon Diggs had a day.
I couldn't tell.
They only threw it 16 times, and both of them got torched. This wasn't a Jordan Lewis thing. This was a all of you.
I thought cover 2 was built to take away the deep ball. They ran the deep ball
between them.
Right at. He ran.
He was running right at Malik Hooker, who was late to turn around. And at first it looked like he might have been a man. We'll see later. But then he's running inside him. And then here's Donovan Wilson on the other side. He ran past him. And I was like, but y'all play safety.
Yeah.
Like the idea is we're safe because you're way back there. And he was just like, I'm going to run past them. And y'all are supposed. Let's visit with Clarence Hill, who's out at the Star, and see if he can help anybody with anything. Hey, Clarence, that was fun.
Was it? It was a recurring nightmare for the Cowboys against this Shanahan type offense. It was like Green Bay all over again. There was just no resistance at all on defense, and they started pressing offense, trying to keep up, and there was no keeping up. They had no answers. Again, the same way you go back to the Green Bay game, they had no answers.
So who out there has already like taken the podium, and what have we heard from players and or coaches?
Yeah, we've talked to Jerry Jones, we've talked to Mike McCarthy, we've talked to Dak Prescott, so we've talked to Micah Parsons. Everybody's talked. No one has any real answers. Mike McCarthy is like, this is what the league is like, and these things happen, and we were never going undefeated. That's what he told the team, that we weren't going undefeated anyway, guys. So let's learn from this and move on. But again, to me, it was the lack of resistance. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, which was, again, you go back to Green Bay, the quarterback was perfect. The running game, Alvin Kamara looked like he was going against Pee Wee football players. And the running game, the run defense was the focus of the offseason. That's all everybody talked. That's why Zimmer was brought in here, to somehow tame the run defense and tame the Shanahan scheme. And this was worse than last year. And everybody talks about, well, they can't stop the Shanahan scheme. Well, I don't remember the 49ers having it this easy. You go back to all those 49er games, they didn't have it this easy on offense.
Did anybody ask Jerry about, because I've heard that 2 off seasons in a row, I feel like they talked about, we have to fix the run defense. And in one of those years, they used a first-round pick on a nose tackle. So it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're talking about. But after this offseason, how can they even sell that line when your best run-stopping at the position that's one job is to run stop left, and you did nothing about it? You were so bad in camp that you just signed the oldest people you could find that had played NFL football once. Like, that's not trying to fix your run defense.
Well, let's also blame the media, because everybody got excited after Cleveland last week and what they did against Cleveland, against their run defense. You got people, national shows all over the country talking about, ooh, Zimmer's scheme is so much better when Zimmer's doing this and he's so exotic. It was all BS. It was all fake. It was all folly, because you talked about they did nothing to improve that run defense from a personnel standpoint. The biggest move the Cowboys thought they made in the offseason was hiring Zimmer. Zimmer's scheme, Zimmer's discipline, that was going to make the difference. Well, Zimmer's scheme and discipline can't help set the edge. They can't set the edge. They do not set the edge, and the defensive tackles are for nothing. Mozzie was getting blown off the ball. Phillips was getting blown off the ball. Linville Joseph was downright awful. And I don't care how good you think your linebackers are, they can't do anything when the defensive line doesn't help. And tell me this, why was the best defender from a week ago not on the field for most of the game? Why was 1-3 Overshown being limited because you had to get Damone Clark on the field? He's not good enough in the base defense that you want to have a rookie and Damone Clark on the field, and he has so much athleticism. When he tackles you, you go down. None of that makes any sense to me. And we haven't even talked about the offense, which, again, as I talked to you before, when we talked about firepower, they have no firepower outside of CeeDee Lamb. There's no one that scares you. They have to methodically move down the field in station to station, so to speak, offensively, with these check downs, and because they can't beat you over the top. And when you have to do that, unlike the Saints, who things were just so easy for them. It's hard work just moving the ball, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to bog down because you can't be perfect for 14 plays.
Yeah, long drives are hard to do, and it feels like that's what the Cowboys have to do to score points, and that's not a ton of fun. So it's Clarence Hill. He's out at the Star, or not at the Star, at AT&T Stadium. Anything else you want to add, or have a great day?
No, hey, listen, it's not a great day for anybody out here when you consider how the Saints fans took over the stadium. I don't know if you saw some of the videos of Jerry walking in, looking all solemn and looked like he had just sucked on a lemon. He was lemon-faced, lemon-booted, everything else. He talked after the, in the locker room, and so Joe will have more, but he talked not in the locker room, but after the locker room, we talked about, it's early in the season, guys, it's early in the season. But he didn't, he also said he didn't see this coming. Nobody saw this coming. There's no way you can look at this and say, hey, we're going to get this fixed, things are okay. This was like last year, and it's worse because to me, I'm smelling 5-11. I'm smelling Dave Campo Cowboys right now.
Oh, no. Okay, well, that's declarative and definitive and shocking, so it's a great way to end it, Clarence. Have a great day. Sorry that they didn't let Overshown play some more. Hook 'em.
All right, guys.
All right, there goes Clarence. Well, he said lemon. He said a lemon.
Somebody sucking a
booty.
Sucking
His
lemon,
booty
sucking
was lemon.
sucking lemonade. What he said. Somebody said,
can we get the super chat?
I think that's a bit much, man. I think this team is much better than a
5-11. It would be 5-12.
It's much better than a 5-12 team, man.
6-11.
You had a bad day versus a Shanahan offense in which that's always been the case, but you ain't finna lose to all these other teams.
Brian's in the super chat before we kill the D tackles. I felt most of the runs went around the edges. Am I wrong here? 0 outside contain. You're wrong because it was both. I watched multiple plays where your two very old D tackles that they just signed off the street. One was 6 yards downfield, one was 10 yards downfield, and they were just getting destroyed. But yeah, they also were awful at contain, especially when they went, we're going to pin the edge with our guy who's outside of him. We're going to pull a lineman, and no one got off a block, and no one was there to make a play. So that part is true. Why is number 30 returning kicks to justify being active on game day when they're afraid to bench Donovan Wilson, but maybe they won't be afraid anymore. Charlie, Taysom Hill isn't a great athlete. He plays in like half the offensive plays and in every special teams. At 34 years old, he's a threat that no defense has yet to figure out how to stop him. Botch. I think that was actually me that was talking crap about Taysom Hill. He's not good enough to be a starting receiver or tight end or running back or quarterback. That's all. He's a good football player. He's not good enough to do any of those jobs.
Just because he played all the jobs. All right.
He's good enough to be second or third string at all of them. That's pretty impressive.
And MX Rare says rank as probably tank for Travis Hunter. Nah, we're not gonna lose that many games. If you do, they probably go a different direction. But yeah, anyway.
Oh, we don't. Okay, we'll bring Joe Hoyt's out there, so we're not gonna tell him no. I was about to say bye. We're gonna say bye in 2 minutes after Joe Hoyt
we ain't
does some more crying.
We made it, Joe.
Joe, tell us what you're most sad about today. If we've got him hooked up, is Joe Hoyt out there? No, yeah. Hey, Joe, how'd that treat you, buddy?
Hey, we'll keep it short and sweet. That was bad for the Cowboys. How about that?
Thank you, Joe. That was a great hit. Have a great day, Joe. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll have
Later,
all
guys.
the stuff that you've gathered. Yeah, we'll be. I love it. That's a man who knows the schedule. He knows where we're at in the show.
Yep.
And he knows what's what.
55.
Please like and subscribe, even if the Cowboys made you sad. Make us happy. We can still be friends. One more super chat. Ferguson would have had a field day today. Hey,
what's a field day? Like
6 for
70
40?
yards,
6
50
for 50.
Yeah, like what's a field day? Yeah,
I don't know, but nobody else wanted to get open. Hey, look, just remember, it's not your fault. Okay, you're allowed to have a good rest of the day, or at least try your best. And remember to be mean to Jerry. Don't be mean to. Remember,
suck lemon
butt.
Booty.
You have no idea what anyone's going through. Be cool to everyone. We love you. Be easy.
Doski.
We all silly like the mayor.